With Stadia only days away from its November 19th launch date, for founders and Premiere owners, there are still many questions about whether or not it will succeed. With various parties debating about whether or not it's worth the investment, whether Google will shut it down like many of its other services, or if it truly is the future like many people believe. The future of Google Stadia is a hot topic of debate, and whether or not it's going to change the future of video games, an even hotter topic. Which finally leads me to the big question. Is Google Stadia the future? If we're talking about what happens should it be successful, then maybe. But I'll hit you with something a little different than the typical yes or no answer. Succeed or fail, Stadia will have an impact on the future of video games, but not in the way everyone believes. And hopefully by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what I mean. Keep in mind, all this is purely opinion-based. To really get down into what the impact that Stadia could have on gaming as a whole, we have to take a look back about 10 years ago when OnLive was being pitched at GDC 09. Much of it you could say echoes exactly what Google is promising with Stadia, but I'll let this specific moment play out for you to hear as well.
And there's a great feature on Live called brag clips. So anything you do something great, actually Steve should have taken a brag clip instead of mine. I'm not going to brag too much about that. So I'll go to my profile, and here you go. You can see the video I uploaded, my avatar, and sure enough, in brag clips, a moment I won't brag much about, but we captured the last 15 seconds of that session, Steve killing me. So I guess that means I'll be up for a raise this year since I let him kill me.
As a former user of OnLive, I can tell you that brag clips were used often, by myself and tons of other users on the platform. The idea that at the push of a button, be able to capture the last 10 seconds of whatever just happened in the game. And the fact that it was so easily possible because everything was being streamed through a video feed. On top of having practically no limit to the amount of brag clips you could make. So why is this relevant? OnLive was during a time where the current generation of consoles were merely twinkles in platform holders' eyes, and yet today, anyone with a Twitter account that follows gamers of any sort have no doubt seen the PlayStation 4 is share tagged tweets. To be more specific, the current generation of consoles recording gameplay at all times and being able to create clips from said gameplay and post it anywhere on social media or even upload it to YouTube. The latter part of that being something OnLive couldn't do, as they never got around to implementing that functionality before its struggles began. But that's just for creating and sharing clips. What about other functionality? During its time as the OnLive service began to evolve, achievements became an eventuality for the service, but they didn't just add the ability to earn achievements, they took it another step further. For example, each achievement you earned, it would create a clip of the last 10 seconds of gameplay that led up to you getting that achievement. This meant that you could relive those particular moments that led up to you getting your most coveted achievements. How did that translate in today's video games? I'm going to use PlayStation as an example yet again, and I'll explain why I'm using Sony so much soon, so bear with me. But during the PlayStation 4's lifespan, they finally got around to refining the tech behind trophies. They eventually added the option for trophies to also take screenshots of the moment the trophy was earned. Not the most intuitive implementation, as it really just takes the shot the moment the icon pops up. So all you really get is the moment after you earn whatever trophy you got. Sometimes this translates into black screens for screenshots, especially if there's a trophy related to finishing a game and getting to the credits. But I speculate that this was the best option for them, as creating clips for each trophy you earn would definitely fill up a hard drive fast. Still with me? Good, because there's more. Every console has live streaming functionality built into it in some way, minus the Switch because Nintendo. Whether it's streaming to Twitch or YouTube, the ability to broadcast your gameplay for any audience to watch or even engage with has become commonplace. Yet this practice existed in some form even before this generation of consoles. I'll refer to OnLive once again, and perhaps this says a lot about just how ahead of its time it truly was, but some form of this existed on the platform. The ability to watch other people play games live and even engage with them by cheering or jeering based on whether you liked it or not. Of course, this fell prey to backseat gamers that would cheer or jeer based on if you were doing something right or not, especially in puzzle games. This was placed into a feature called the Arena, and you could basically browse thousands of streams of games and pick one to watch at any point in time, and this was incredibly fluid and seamless. Today, because the only console to have its own dedicated streaming service is Xbox, you're forced to stream to specific destinations a la Twitch or YouTube. While the integration is as simplistic as it can be, there are still a few hoops to jump through to not only start a stream, but to watch one from the same console. Now, you may be wondering why I've been using Sony so much as an example through this video so far, and there is indeed a reason for that. When OnLive met its end in early 2015, everyone was left to wonder what would happen to all the assets and technology that was left behind, and that it would be a shame to see it all go to waste. In very quick fashion, all the remaining assets were picked up by Sony, similar to what they did when they purchased Gaikai, another cloud gaming service that never really got off the ground in the way OnLive did before Sony swooped in and purchased it. We take a look at where Sony's at now, and they have their own cloud gaming service called PlayStation Now. It'd be very short-sighted not to believe that the assets they purchased from both Gaikai and OnLive were not repurposed for PlayStation Now. So, what does this mean? It means that console platform holders were watching these services the entire time without publicly acknowledging it. Which leads me to the point of this video. Succeed or fail, Stadia will change the future of video games. The story of OnLive paints a picture of exactly how that can happen. But what about Stadia's features? What does it have that other platforms don't? Since its reveal, Google has been pushing Stadia as a new way to play and engage with the games we play today. While cloud gaming isn't necessarily a new technology, it's the features around it that, if implemented and done right, can truly make it shine. Features such as crowdplay, which allows gaming content creators and their audience the ability to queue up and join each other for multiplayer games, all from just watching a live stream. Or State Share, which allows people to share any specific point in their game with other people and allow them to pick up at that exact moment in the game, which will be great for those attempting to recreate some of the best moments from other people's games. And personally, I would love to see the achievement clips feature from OnLive make its way to Stadia once achievements are fully implemented. Google, are you listening? None of these features currently exist on any platform at the moment, but it would be foolish to think that these ideas won't make their way to other platforms at some point. And these are just some of the smaller features of Stadia. Let's take a look at a potentially bigger feature. When Google revealed Stadia, they demonstrated the integration of Google Assistant on the platform, allowing players to call upon the assistant at any time and pull up a video guide to help them get through a challenging part in the game. Again, something that doesn't exist on any platform yet. I'm going to throw one more feature in here that can be found on other platforms, but the implementation of it will make all the difference. Demos. And here's why, and I'll refer to OnLive once more. OnLive made demos relevant again as they brought timed trials of games into the fold. Almost any game could be demoed through a trial on the platform, which was great for those that were still unsure of whether or not the platform works, or if their internet was up to snuff for it. In doing so, it even helped change some minds about whether or not cloud gaming could work. Stadia does indeed have plans to have demos for games on the service as well, and trials could be some of the easiest ways to do it. It would also allow people to give the service a try without committing to anything until they're sure they are in. Of course, this would all be based on publisher demand, but I imagine publishers would love for demos to exist again as well, without having studios dedicate time crafting a very specific build of a game just for a demo. While demos absolutely exist on other platforms, the amount of games that actually have demos are far fewer than many would expect. Stadia could lead the charge by opening the doors on trials for games that would never have one based on development time constraints. This has potential to change how demos are constructed as a whole, physical, digital, or otherwise. Google Stadia, success or failure, will change the future of video games, but not in the way that people are thinking, and I'll be watching closely as we move forward into the next generation. That's all I have for now. Once again, everything you heard here today is entirely my own opinion. If you somehow managed to make it through to the end of this video, thank you very much for your time and your patience. If you found this video helpful and informative at all, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon, as it truly does help the channel. Social links, as always, you can find in the description. And as always, this is Corrupt Ronin telling you to stay sharp, assassins, and I'll see you next time.